The court finds you guilty on all counts. I hereby sentence you to 6 months of digging up spherical rocks in the Muncher mines, so Mr. Chuck will have something to throw at Mario. Bailiff, take him away.
Oh man, this, like, bites, or something, dog.
Next on the agenda is the case of the Who Someone.
Guys, I have a serious emergency.
We were kind of in the middle of something incredibly important here. What's the big deal? It better not be a stupid waste of everyone's time, you clown.
It's not, don't worry. The trolls are attacking. They are out for my life. Everything I have ever worked for in my whole entire life could be ruined.
I don't know about this.
It's true, and it's happening on DeviantArt. One or several trolls is out to get me once again by stealing my pride and joy, incriminating my family, and ultimately trying to get me to go to World 8. I don't care what any of you think, but how would you feel if one person was trying to get a whole country to turn against you? This is exactly what could happen. I could be ruined. Or I could be just fine when I get started on creating my own video game. I just thought of something. If staff members of a video game team saw that I was using these original characters, and there's no way any other person but me can, because trolls live Guomba whole lives and lack the money to get into the business, which is what I tell myself to get to sleep at night, then my name would be cleared. Trouble is, I have to endure this matter for some 5 more years at least. What do I know? Who knows more than I do? If necessary, I can take this to the world of insanity, but I at least want some feedback first.
So, you don't care what any of us think, but you want our opinions anyway. That doesn't make any sense. Wait, didn't you claim this happening before, like 3 months ago?
It was like a month ago, I think. The staff closed that thread because I could have been, for all they knew, making a big deal over nothing serious, which in actuality, I definitely was. But this time it's for real. The fact is, that the thing really is, I believe trolls are taking advantage of America's crumbling economy to get them to believe any little thing they do. Reason. I hear that desperate people will believe anything and do anything for survival. The thing is, I can be judgmental towards the human race and say that any fool will believe a troll's nonsense and thus try to have someone framed for a crime she didn't commit. The thing is, if people are desperate and believe all the lies and stuff against me, they could try to throw me and my whole totes-to-ling family into prison for life.
Wow. So, where could we see these trolls? Surely it can't be that bad. Trolls are pretty common here on the internet.
All right, don't make me regret this, but I will show you my home. Take a look around. I strongly suggest you look at my gallery. All of it.
Okay, I will. Well, this stuff is pretty good, I guess.
People who draw and publish bad art need to be prepared for some trolls. Yep. You definitely need to be prepared for some trolls.
Hey, it was my fault for trolling you the very first time. This is not the first time. And worse than that, this guy is scheming against not just me, but my whole family. He's trying to brand us all as criminals, and since the economy is recovering, crumbling, any fool could believe it.
So wait, just why exactly do you think some troll is going to get you thrown in jail?
Because, you're fool, they know who I am. They know my name, address, and everything about me. Even Mama's Facebook, which I was against creating, mind you. That's how. It's like I said, desperate people will believe even the most ridiculous of garbage, which I am definitely not doing myself right now. We could all be arrested for being perverted but rapists who love porn. It doesn't take a fool to figure out that some person has a grudge against me because he keeps targeting me for reasons unknown, but it probably has nothing to do with how incredibly defensive and angry I get whenever someone doesn't shower my quote artwork unquote with insurmountable levels of praise.
All right, there are a few things I think need to be said here. Earlier, you spoke about your planned future video game and acted as if once it started development, all your troubles would be washed away. That doesn't make even 2/3 of an iota of sense. Trust me, even if you ever do get hired by a company to draw or whatever, as long as trolls think they can get to you, they will keep trolling.
Shut up, you're lying.
Moving on. The way you defined the behaviors of a desperate person earlier, you, by that definition, are very desperate yourself, for reasons you probably know. Which is why you genuinely believe some trolls are out to get you. Who cares if they know anything about you? By the way, that part about them loving porn makes no sense whatsoever, and as a matter of fact it's so hilariously irrelevant it hurts. Additionally, I was able to dig up all of your personal info just by googling your email address, which you conveniently plastered all over your profile. It took about 0.003469 seconds to obtain this information because you don't even bother trying to secure it, yet its confidentiality seems to matter so much to you. It's truly baffling.
If all of that nonsense were true, no one would reveal themselves on the internet. Back when I first put up my web page, I didn't even know what the total internet trolling was. I underestimated the dangers of the internet. I did not think anyone would go so far, but it's too late to leave DeviantArt now. They'll definitely take full advantage of me if I did that. BTW, I'm personally not actually scared of those trolls actually. I do have other user friends to back me up too, and some are brave enough to valiantly flame the evil trolls for their devious deeds.
Whatever, let's get back to the courthouse. If my boss catches me taking unauthorized breaks again, it'll be my head. Oops, I mean it'll be your head, because I'll frame you for kidnapping me and loving M-rated video games, and since whatever random law enforcement nearby might be lacking like 25 cents needed to buy a Doritos snack bag because of the bad economy, he'll be desperate enough to believe me and kill some DeviantArt users because of it. Namely, you.
What does liking M-rated games have to do with anything? Is there some sort of a joke going on?
Forget this crap. Let's just go. So now, what was it we were talking about?
We were talking about me and my huge mega-sized colossal life-threatening situation. Actually, this won't be a problem because it won't matter if they troll me or not. The one thing that will be taken care of is that I'm the original creator of my artwork, and that's all that matters. So even if I still get trolled 10 to 20 years from now, I won't care, because there's not a chance in World 8 that anyone will believe these fat warp pipes glued to their chairs typing Guomba cakes. Sorry to have been deceitful to you all, but when I'm standing here making this all up and screaming in your face, oops, I mean explaining my realistic problem, I'm in actuality calm and collected, which is why I made a third thread about how my world is about to completely implode, taking everything along with it, because this was all a simple ruse that I definitely don't believe myself, because I know that not a thing can stop me from achieving my ultimate ambitions. If these trolls want a war, I'll give them a war.
Yo, I have a friend named Justin. I know his full name, his address, his phone number, the names of his family members, and most of his internet details. Could you clue me in as to how I should go about getting him arrested instead of me using this information? By the way, I think he likes porn too. That might help.
Now how should I know? And how is this helping? Wait, are you trying to tell me something?
Yes, he's telling you you're overreacting. And trying to weasel out of his sentence.
Hey, that's what I thought, which again is why I overreact to the point of seeming completely swoop-a-toadstool insane. So I'm basically as safe as a sausage ?
If you consider the fact that you're easily driven to insanity, maybe not. Anyway, What does being in a company to draw or video game designer staff have to do with anything? If you can't ignore trolling now, you most likely won't be able to ignore it later.
It's like I said. Because it will be known that I am the original designer of my own artwork, and I will have pride that no one can take away. Whatever happens after that will not matter, because trolls won't be able to prove anything. Not that they can anyway, which is totally an actually correct fact that I definitely knew to be true right from the get-go.
But isn't your work already original? I mean, I saw some of it was inspired by the Sonic characters, but it's still sort of original. Unless you're saying the trolls are video game designers, which is a borderline retarded assumption. Also, I didn't see much trolling. The stuff on your page was flagged and kept pretty clean. I briefly took a look at the other user you linked to, and he didn't seem like that big of a troll either.
Don't you dare believe that demonic troll's lies. He is deceiving you. Yes, my work is original. Hopefully, I don't have to make a 2 or 3 hour video that would show me doing a drawing just to prove it. Of course the trolls aren't video game designers. I never assumed that. Because I am so insecure about myself, I try to envision them as big fat blobs, who are glued to their chairs eating grease food, living in goo-on-the-hole homes, having no lives, all that stuff. So all in all, this is a minor setback.
I'm going to put my last 2 cents into this because I feel no one is getting through to you. 1. Nobody is going to come after you, IRL guaranteed. 2. When your art isn't fantastic, and even when it is, expect trolls. Deviant art especially. 3. You've 100% fed into that troll. Ignore him and he'll go away.
You're not getting sucked in by that troll, are you? Stop believing the crazy lies. He's evil, I tell you.
Do you still think we care? Here, I'll spoil it for you. We don't.
With all due respect, sir, you have no idea what you're talking about. I'll get my feedback elsewhere from now on, KK thanks.
Honestly, don't do anything like this ever again, at least, not at SMWC. Since it seems like you're hopefully finally getting the hint that nobody is going to come after you, and that ultimately nobody gives 2/3 of a toadstool, I don't really see a point in letting this run on any longer. You constantly contradict yourself and need reassurance every 4 seconds. This is over.
So you're sure that they won't use America's crumbling economy to send me to prison? What if this happened to you?
Please, just shut up. Anyway, back to business. Hey, wait a second. The guy escaped on us while we were too busy laughing at, I mean taking this situation seriously. Oh well. Time for another paper airplane fight.